VRMonkey's latest game is out now on PSVR2 and it's called Skyclimb. It's a very colorful platformer that should appeal to all members of the family, but is it actually worth your time and money? Well, let's find out.
Okay, this is gonna be so much fun.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are reviewing Skyclimb on PSVR2. Now if you watched our recent gameplay video in which I played the first two levels of the game, then you would know that my first impressions were very positive. And now that I have spent more time with the game, I'm happy to report that Skyclimb does not disappoint, as long as you know what to expect, of course. So what should you expect? Well, exactly what the game promises you. A single player campaign spanning 7 worlds comprising 65 levels with boss encounters at the end of each world, so that makes it 7 boss fights total, a multiplayer mode that allows you to compete with your friends for the fastest level completion time, a unique locomotion system unlike anything I have personally seen up until this point on PSVR2, and of course the possibility to customize your character. Let's start with the gameplay because, as we all know, gameplay is king, and gameplay is king indeed in Skyclimb. It's very enjoyable, very addictive, and it's simply the only thing that will keep you coming back to this game. And by the way, please don't judge the gameplay or the game in general just by watching trailers or even seeing some gameplay for the matter. You just won't know how good it feels to play until you try it out yourself. I say this because before I played this game, and probably just like the most of you guys, I only saw the PSVR2 trailer and I was like, what the hell am I looking at here? I thought it's gonna be terrible. But lo and behold, the moment I started playing, I immediately went from what the hell is this to oh, now I get it. I really believe that this is one of those games that trailers don't actually do them any service. You should also know that this is not an easy game, and I'm not talking just about the boss fights, I'm talking about the campaign in general, like from start to finish. Of course the boss fights are challenging, but the game as a whole is not easy. I know it looks like a walk in the park, but trust me, it's the opposite of that. Now I'm not saying expect Souls games difficulty in Skyclimb, but definitely don't go in thinking that you're gonna beat this game in no time. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty certain that you're gonna die multiple times in the first 2 levels, and that's okay because first of all, the game doesn't punish you for dying, so you shouldn't care either. Unless of course you care about finishing the level as fast as possible, so you can make it to the top 10 in the leaderboard. And second of all, because there is a learning curve here. At first you're gonna feel like you have zero control over your character's movement, but after playing the first 3 to 4 levels, you will get the hang of it, and once you do that, it's gonna be pure fun. As I mentioned earlier, the locomotion in Skyclimb is very intuitive, it's a lot of fun, jumping from one cube to another, dashing, diving, flying in the air, it all feels great and nearly flawless. And since we're talking about how the game feels, I can't not compliment the way VRMonkey has utilized the haptic feedback of the Sense controllers in this game. It's so subtle, and yet it adds a lot to the experience. You really feel like you're holding a spongy cube. As for the visuals and the graphical presentation of the game, I have zero complaints. It looks sharp, clear, and very vibrant, as you would expect from a game with this cartoonish art style. I did not notice any aliasing or any Mura effect. To put it simply, the game looks very polished. The performance is also on point. The game runs at a rock-solid super smooth 90 frames per second without reprojection, and I did not notice any frame drops or stuttering or any issues in terms of performance. The music in Skyclimb is awesome, it fits the game very well, and it reminded me a lot of retro platformers. As for the multiplayer mode, it seems like there is no matchmaking yet, probably because the game has just launched and there aren't many people playing it right now on PSVR2, and since it doesn't support crossplay yet, then if you're buying this game for the multiplayer component only, which is a valid reason for wanting to buy this game, I mean you're gonna have fun playing the campaign, that's for sure, but you're going to definitely have more fun if you play this game with your friends, and you can play it with up to 5 friends by the way, in case you're wondering. So if you don't have friends to play with, and again, if the reason you want to buy this game is the multiplayer mode and multiplayer only, then I'd recommend holding off until they add crossplay in Q4 of this year, and then you'll be able to enjoy the screams of those Quest 2 children. Ah, you gotta love crossplay. I should mention that I did encounter one bug in the multiplayer mode that I think you should be aware of. You see, if you try to let the public matchmaking do its thing in an attempt to join other players in the multiplayer mode, then you're gonna be left alone inside of the level, and there is literally no way of returning to the main screen except for closing the game and restarting it again. Now, I did report this to the developer, so of course they'll be working on fixing this in a future update. And speaking of updates, expect to see a lot of those in the coming weeks and months. You see, as good as the game currently is, it's still worth highlighting that Skyclimb came out missing a lot of features, some of which I consider to be essential to many players, like smooth turning for example, many comfort modes and assists, level editor, some skins, some multiplayer maps and modes that are available right now on the Quest version but not on the PSVR2 version, and many more. So you're definitely not getting the final version of Skyclimb if you buy it today. That being said, VRMonkey has already put out a roadmap for the game, so all those missing features will be added in the coming weeks, and by the time we reach September, the PSVR2 version should be identical to the Quest version in terms of content, so that they will be able to add crossplay in Q4 of this year. Okay, so now that I've covered all that you need to know about Skyclimb on PSVR2, what's the verdict then? Well, at its core, Skyclimb is a great unique platformer, and God knows how much we, PSVR2 players, love good platformers. It looks great, it runs flawlessly, it sounds awesome, it feels amazing, but unfortunately it's still not finished yet. So if you're buying it today for the campaign, and if snap turning is not a big deal for you, then for $14.99 US, it's safe to say you'll be getting your money's worth and then some. But if you're buying it for the multiplayer component, then I'd recommend holding off until at least there is a complete feature parity between the Quest version and the PSVR2 version. And that's gonna do it for this review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to let me know by hitting that subscribe button, that like button, and turn on the notifications as well. Let me know in the comments what you think about Skyclimb. Is this game for you or not? And I'll see you guys in the next video, but until then, take care.